What's up, YouTube? This is my first impressions of the new Warzone Pacific on the Caldera map. So I'm going to go over just some of the stuff that I saw, some stuff that I experienced, some of the issues that I've seen with the game. There's some stuff missing that I go over. So I have one of the games that I played just running in the background as I talk, just so that you have something to watch while I talk about the various things that I wanted to talk about. So I played a few games solo with squad fill on because right now it's only on quads, just to kind of get a feel, because I didn't want to run around just die and lose the match right away. I want to be able to, come back, fight in the Gulag, experience all that kind of stuff. It was definitely a little bit tougher not having, friends to play with or a solid team with great comms. But overall, it was actually a lot of fun. Got to experience mostly ground loot, didn't really get my loadout that much. The ground loot weapons they're hit and miss. There are some good ones and there are some really bad ones, which is kind of the joy of having the 10 attachments. I find is you have a good variety in the weapons. Some weapons obviously are better than others, but there is room for improvement on all of them, I think. So there's going to be a lot of balancing, which they've already said that there is balancing coming. So we'll wait for that to really kind of go over the weapons a bit more. And with some of the ground loot weapons, they have the smaller mags on them, whether it's like the 25, 20, or even 30. You really have to think about and do your shots better. There was quite a few instances where I ran out of ammo trying to get into a fight, and I'll have to switch weapons or just run out completely. So I dropped into a few different places, like Arsenal, Airfield, sub pens. The Airfield was hectic. It seemed like everyone wanted to go there because of the planes. You can actually fly them. So I got into quite a few fights there. I like the openness of everything. Nothing's really closed in too much. There's a lot of open field, which really you have to pick when to run. You've got to check to make sure you're not getting sniped. It takes a lot of teamwork because you kind of have to get covered from your friends. Also, a lot of people have been dropping peak. It's a little more close quarters there, and there's a lot of loot to pick up there. So a lot of people were going there, and you can get in some crazy gunfights up there. Overall, I like the look of the map. I like that it's brighter. It's not as like gray and dull like Verdansk was. This is bright, lots of sun, lots of color to it. A lot of places to hide. Everyone seems to be complaining about there's a lot of trees. While it's a Pacific map, gonna have a lot of trees. Get used to it. Adjust yourself. And with there being lots of grass as well, laying down, you might not notice that guy right there right away. So it really keeps you on your feet more, I find. You're checking a lot more spots. So for this one, they've actually increased the speed that the gas moves forward, but they've increased the time between the circle collapses. So it makes it a little bit more faster paced when the gas is closing in, and then it kind of slows it down a bit between the circles. But now with the gas mask change, you can actually fight a little bit better in the gas and going in and out of the gas. So it's kind of a good change. And overall with the gas mask, that's an amazing change. I got caught a few times out in the gas, and then not having that stupid animation of putting on and taking off and putting on and taking off really helped out to get in and out of a gunfight. Of course, no launch is complete without multitudes of bugs and missing stuff. There was many bugs of disconnects and everything else. One game we lost a player right at the start of it. It definitely hammers you when you're playing in quads. A lot of early crashes that people were reporting. I didn't experience any, but I was experiencing a lot of FPS drops and everything else. So I've got to figure out why I was doing that. Some of the stuff that was missing was I had a bunch of operators already at max level from playing Vanguard. And then when the Warzone integration happened, they're now back to 0. But the ones that weren't maxed out kept their level. I don't know, maybe it's a bug. Whatever, doesn't really matter too much. The skins are all unlocked, so it's not like it's a big deal. The big thing that is missing, and this happened in Cold War as well, was the zombie stuff didn't carry over. So the camo unlocks and the reticle unlocks. I much prefer some of the reticles from zombies, and I had a bunch of camos unlocked from zombies. I don't have them in Warzone. That really sucks because now we're probably gonna have to wait 4 or 5 seasons before we get them in, just like it was with Cold War. Now the Gulag in this one is completely different and it's much better. It's a smaller Gulag, so it's a lot faster. Before you were sitting there, and a lot of times they would get time would tick down all the way because people are just running around and or hiding in a corner somewhere. This one, it's like boom, you're right on the person. So they're much faster. So there's less waiting around in the Gulag when there's like a stack of people waiting. It will be interesting to see the battle royale where you can actually use the modern warfare and the Cold War weapons with the Vanguard weapons. I don't think the Vanguard weapons are going to compete too much with those ones. We're still going to be seeing a lot of EM2s and OTSs and probably just the Cold War Kar 98. But I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, there's changes coming to the weapons either this week or next week, so maybe we'll see some buffs to some Vanguard weapons that might overtake the Cold War ones. Now, the one thing that Vanguard weapons have over Cold War weapons is the ability to put 10 attachments on. That's could be big, especially if they start changing the attachments, making them better, or adding new ones in. Say, buy a blueprint from the store, it comes with a new attachment specifically in that blueprint. That could tip the balance a bit on some of the weapons, but I mean, we'll see what happens. We're already seeing some of the benefits of the weapon changes, specifically like the melee one, no longer getting that stupid lunge and getting melee down, 2 hits and you're down. Now it's like you actually have to be on top of the person to get those melee hits, which is making it a little bit better. I can't talk too much about the weapons because if they're going to be doing changes, there's no point in saying this is going to be the Vanguard meta weapon when it could change in 2-3 days. But I'm really excited for this. This is different because now we have 2 different BRs in this one. So there's the Vanguard and then just the regular Battle Royale. And it's nice to be able to flip between them both. So I can go in, if I just want to play with Vanguard weapons, I can go play with just Vanguard weapons. If I want to play with all the weapons, I can go in and play with all the weapons. So this is great for the future of this, is that if anything gets added, it's going to be to either one of them, and it's not going to really overtake either one. I hope they add in some more modes like they did with the previous Warzone. We had like, was it Payload and Clash? Those were actually quite fun to play. A change of pace and a break from just the regular BR. You have to jump into that and just get some kills and just have a little bit more fun. So I hope we see some of those with this one. Not sure how they could do it, but I'm sure they can figure it out. Something that would be really cool to add in as well would be a dogfight mode where you just spawn in planes and be able to dogfight each other. I think that would be kind of cool. It might not be a fan favorite, but I think it would be a lot of fun. Also, it would be kind of cool if they could bring back Verdansk as like a throwback once in a while for like, say, 2 weeks we get to play in the old map with Vanguard weapons and stuff like that. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the future of Warzone. I think this is a nice change. It's completely different than Verdansk. It's a different map completely, which everyone kept saying we needed. So this is great, and I think the future looks bright for this. And I'm looking forward to dropping in more and getting more kills, hopefully. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button for more videos, and we'll see you in Caldera.